Alright, so today I'm gonna be VOD reviewing a Diamond Wrecking Ball / Ramattra game. My viewer reached out to me with the following message. Hi, I'm a Ball and Ram main, stuck Diamond. I recently played a game where I felt like I did everything I could, but still lost. I'd be interested in a VOD review. I think your advice could be very useful to me. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. Through my Discord server and into the coaching info channel. Alright, let's get right into it. Blizzard World, that is good for us. Rolling out. Scouting, that is good. Ignorant Bastion, that is good. I'm not so sure about going straight to point here. Honestly, I would try to use this grapple instead to grapple here on this ledge, going up and power driving. First of all, this is unexpected. Second of all, this is some nice damage and some nice ult charge. Considering that you have Widowmaker, this can be some nice easy shots for her. So I wouldn't go straight to point immediately. Rolling through, that's okay. I wouldn't use shields though. You want to use shields when you're actually being shot, since you're already switching your position from more aggressive one into a safer one. You don't really need these shields, right? They shot you a little, however, they're not really interested in staying there anyways. So I would much rather save those shields for later, for disengage. And also, you're holding onto your power drive for way too long. You need to be spamming your power drive as much as possible. If the enemy team allows you to power drive, you need to do that. It's a very strong ability. It deals a lot of damage, basically a crowd control ability. It will force out things from the enemy team, like Ilari using her shift, for example, or Juno Ring, or Juno Mobility, or Emre Pistol. There are like a lot of things that you can force out with your power drive. The only times when you want to be safe with your power drive, primarily, is when the enemy team has a lot of crowd control. If they have Cassidy, if they have Anna, Roadhog, then you want to be careful with your power drive, but you currently have zero reasons to be careful with your power drive. Again, you don't need those shields. You're just rolling through. Use your shields when you are shooting and when you are being shot. This is when using shields makes sense. If you're just rolling through, you already want to end up somewhere in a safe position. So you don't really need those shields. This is the first power drive in like 50 seconds or something. This is quite late. The problem is you're going in with this power drive now. When you don't have your shields and your team is kind of... they're quite far away. I mean, two people here, Genji God knows where, and one people coming from the spawn. You're basically all alone here, so you will get less value from this power drive, and you will give more value to the enemy team, because the damage that you deal with your power drive, the enemy supports will get all charge off of this because they will heal the rest of the team, and these people, they will also get a lot of full charge because you're about to feed a lot of your HP. Let's see. You lost half of it. Just donated some extra charge to the enemy team for free. Again, here, you could have gone for a power drive. You could have absolutely gone for the power drive. First of all, you need to chill here a little. You're not full HP. When you want to go for a hard engage, what I mean by that is you're going in with your shields and you want to stay and try to shoot someone, maybe try to get a kill. You want to be as full as possible with your HP, and you want to have all your abilities back. And since you do have all your abilities back, all you need to do is wait a little for your HP. And while you're waiting for your HP, you're also waiting for your team to get kind of in a position to start the fight. And then you can go in with your power drive. On top of that, I'm not sure if I would go this way. Like, what I would do, I would just come here, peek this way, I would look where everyone is at. And then, honestly, I would probably turn this way, grapple here on this ledge, and then I would swing like this in the air, retracting. And then I would power drive like this, so I can have like a better view of like what's happening. Because when you're here and you want to gain height for your power drive, the only way you can do that is by attaching your grapple here. Since this is a very low height, you will kind of... it will be problematic. So I would just turn the opposite way and go for the power drive this way. What's more important about all of this, though, is that you do need to get extra information on the enemy team's positioning. You cannot just come here this way, and while you're still behind walls, while you still cannot see them, you cannot already be using your grapple. Like, you barely received any information on the enemy team's positioning, yet you're already using your grapple to roll through. You could have at least gathered enough information to realize that, oh, actually going for the pad drive here would be better because your team is here. They can follow up. Again, you don't need those shields. You don't really need those shields. You see, like, the half of the shields timer, you're now wasting behind walls here, and so much of the green health is not being used because you just rolled through. You didn't intend to stay there and try to get the kill. It would completely work if you went for the pad drive and tried to kill the Solari, but you didn't. Therefore, you don't need those shields. Try to save your shields for when you actually want to go for a kill and not just rolling through. Okay. I think we're rushing here a little bit. I think you could have waited for 2 extra seconds. You could have... Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. You could have waited for 2 extra seconds to get your pad drive. You would have more chances of actually getting a kill here. Zoning ultimate is also okay. Although, yet again, you don't need the shields here. The reason being, Juno damage is not enough to kill you. She's already being healed by Illari, so the chances of you getting the kill on Juno, considering that you're also missing your shots, is quite low. So what you need to do here, you need to disengage, make them think that you are not in the fight anymore, and then you strike again with the element of surprise, if that makes sense. Because it will be easier for you to land your abilities and your shots when the enemy team doesn't know where you are, when they are not prepared. Currently, both of them know that you're right here, so this Juno will be juking in the air like crazy. You will not be able to hit your shots, so you need to let her go. Then you would want to have your shields. But now this is already a lost fight. You even understand it yourself. This is why you're rolling out. You rushed. You could have gone for the pad drive again. You need to decide on your target here. You need to commit and make a decision. So you tried to go for this Juno, it didn't work. Alright, since she has a Illari pocket, it doesn't work. You're disengaging. Fine. Now, you committed to this Sigma. You can stay on him. Yes, as Wrecking Ball, you don't really want to focus tank all the time. However, considering that 5 people are here, and this is Sigma alone out of position, technically speaking, you can't kill him if you help your team. And now here as well, you're going for this Juno. You can't kill her, now you're going for Illari. You could even stay to try to kill this Bastion, but you didn't. You also use your shields now. You don't need those because you can't kill this Sigma anymore. And look at your green health. It's already gone. So those shields are just wasted at this point. Good power drive. Now, here you made a mistake by rolling out. You got such a beautiful pad drive here. 2 things that you could have done here. Number 1, you stay here, use your shield to try to kill Illari, or at least this pylon. You will not really be able to get a kill, but you will deal a significant amount of damage. They will break through your overhealth, and then you will roll out. Easy. Option 2, you roll out right now immediately without shooting anyone, but you also don't use your shields. Because otherwise you end up doing what you end up doing, which is you get a 6 slam, you have 1300 HP, and you're not doing anything with it. You have 1000 HP, you're currently the fattest character in the lobby, and you're not doing anything with it. This should not be happening. You need to burn this overhealth, you need to burn the green health, because this is a health that expires on its own in 4 seconds here anyways. You need to use it. You need to burn it down. When you have green health, don't play safe. Especially when you have this much overhealth, don't play safe. Because this is the tool that allows you to be aggressive. So you need to be aggressive. There's no reason to be safe. Or at least not that safe to the extent that you are playing. Okay, we need to look at this target priority. So we're going for this Emre. We need to realize here that this Alari is not really killable because she's over there next to her team. This Juno can help her at any moment. And this Emre will also be problematic to kill because of this pylon. So if I were you, I would just stay here. I would pile drive this pylon off ledge. And then I would shoot Emre. I don't think you need to be going for this LRE. Your target is right here. This is going to be very annoying for Emre if he's being constantly shot by Wrecking Ball. Considering that Wrecking Ball is a hit scan, it is going to be quite easy for you to deal damage on him. And this is quite lethal for Emre during his ultimate. Like, Sojourn, she can damage him. Genji will have a hard time damaging Emre. Wu Yang, no. Kiriko also no. So it's pretty much only up to you and Sojourn, and I wouldn't rely on Sojourn to do anything about it. So you need to be the one controlling Emre during his ultimate, and also destroy this goddamn pylon. You see what I mean? You cannot rely on your teammates to do the job for you. You could have also made this job easier for Sojourn if you destroyed this pylon. This pylon is up here for 20 million years at this point. Nice. They are using Juno ultimate, which means any kind of damage that you deal with your pile drive, and most likely everything that comes after it from your teammates, will not be enough to kill any of them. And you are 9% off to your ultimate. What I would be doing instead, I would stay on this high ground and I would shoot this Bastion to gain the last bit of full charge. This will probably time perfectly well with the end of Juno's ultimate, and when you have your ultimate, you go with your minefield and pile drive. The problem is, if you go for your pile drive now and you use your minefield after, this will not be like enough movement control for them to actually die to your minefield. On top of that, this ray, it will heal the damage from the minefield. You see, he's just moving. He's just moving and he's completely safe. Now imagine if you just waited a little and you went for minefield plus pile drive on point. And these people would have a way harder time actually staying here. Maybe you would be able to cut off Juno or Bastion better to kill them. But I kind of have a feeling that you will struggle with it now. You could have also stayed on this Bastion to kill him. His turret form is over. He's kind of half HP. You are full HP. The ray is over as well. So destroying pylon this time, that is nice. Okay, yet again, we're using shields, but we want to stay and fight. We don't want to spend all this green health while we're rolling. We want to use the shields to deal damage. Like, look, you had over 1000 HP, you're losing all of this while you're rolling. Even more than that. Okay, so here I would actually probably turn around this way. You heard the Larry just use her shift. You have 20 seconds on the clock. Your team is so far away. Your team is so far away. Now imagine if you really quickly get this kill on Ilari who doesn't have her mobility cooldown, and then you come back to the fight. You will be there on time. I see a lot of rolling around. I see a lot of not utilizing overhealth to deal damage. Got Tracer, that is good. Using shields way too early. You're not being damaged. No reason to use shields. You could have turned around to kill this Bastion. He's like 60 HP. Come on, nice. Pylon! Thank you. No! Instead of waiting here, you need to go and take the mega. You will wait here forever. This minefield doesn't do anything. The reason being, your team is 20 kilometers away. None of them are even close to this minefield, and so is the case for the enemy team. They are not willing to stay here. They don't have any pressure from your team, therefore they can just walk out of this minefield and be absolutely safe. Even if they take any damage from this minefield, they are very safe to get healed because no one is shooting them. So this is just a very early minefield for no reason. It is very crazy of you to go into this bastion while you're half HP and you end up in the middle of the enemy team. It is very risky. You're only 60 HP, you could have died there easily. There was no reason for you to push this bastion. You could have just shot them as well. You're still half HP, you're shooting them while they're in Juno ultimate. You cannot allow yourself to do that. You cannot allow yourself to go into this LRE like this. Uh-oh. Nice. Nice. Why are we dropping on the low ground in front of 14,000 people when we can just stay on the high ground here, power drive the Juno off ledge, get back inside, isolate the duel with Juno, not take any damage from the rest of the team, and try to get the kill on Juno and force her out the high ground? You should not be going here. The reason is you already lost your Genji. This is going to be the last fight. You need to make sure that you do not take extra damage during these last 17 seconds. Why? Because this guy over here, he will take unnecessary damage. Your teammates, your supports, I don't know where your other support is. Coming from spawn. So you need to make sure, in this case, that this Life Fever sends all of his resources to save this guy, and you should just not be stupid in the meanwhile. Because if both of you are being stupid, then you force your Life Fever to kind of make a decision. Who is he going to heal, Sojourn or Ball? Who is he going to pull, Sojourn or Ball? And you do not want to force this decision on Life Viewer, because first of all, he will fail both of you, and second of all, by the time the actual fight begins on the payload, your Life Viewer will not have any resources to help you guys stay alive on point. Like now, he will probably use, well, technically speaking, I guess, alternative scenario. Life Viewer uses all of his cooldowns to save you guys, and then he doesn't have any cooldowns to help you guys survive on point when Sigma comes to the payload. And he also doesn't have any cooldowns to save himself. And all of this because both of you here decided to go in and feed. Of course, you cannot do anything about your Sojourn going in very aggressively like this, but you can retreat. You can not power drive. You can save your shields for the last fight. You can not take this rock. You can stay close to your team instead of taking all this damage. You can not force this Life Viewer grapple. Oh. Nice, we got point. Let's go. You do not need those shields. Instead of staying on payload, I would instead push forward and take control of this high ground here and play between these two high grounds to make it harder for the enemy team to push closer. If they push over here, for example, then payload will be stuck here for a while. But if you apply pressure from here, they will be quite hesitant to push forward, and they will most likely play around this area, which means just extra free meters for the payload. We're doing it. Nice. So this is, I guess, a good example of when you can be safe with your shields when you're going in this aggressively, because you got rocked. They already are paying attention to you, and you are quite far away from the rest of your team. No one can really, like, the rest of the enemy team, they don't really see anyone, therefore they can't really shoot anyone except for Ball. So you can take cover here. because you yourself are in no position to shoot here. So it is fine. I like that we took cover. I like that we killed Pylon. I think you could have gone for Power Drive here. Let's say you grapple here, retract, Power Drive, roll back out. You're very shy on your Power Drives. You need to be using your Power Drives a lot more. The enemy team allows you to, so you need to be going for it. Unfortunate. Weird usage of cover and rotation. You're moving in a straight line from the POV of the enemy team. You want to break the line of sight. You don't want to stay there. You see, this Emmerich can still shoot you. Well, I don't know what he's doing now, but he could still keep on shooting you. So instead of rotating this way, just go back to your team. Give them all charge, wait, and don't take damage. Good Power Drive. You see, you go from behind, you roll through. This already forces this Ilari to use her shift. And this Emery is also using his pistol. I don't know if he used it before, but now the Power Drive, this already forces, kind of, this Juno to use her ultimate. Power Drive is such a nice bait cooldown ability. You overstayed, you're welcome. Okay, next round. That's a good setup, I like it, but you need to be looking deep into the alley. You stay here not only to send your Power Drive down, but you also third-person peek what the enemy team has and where they are going. Don't forget this part, that you can watch this. This will allow you to use your Power Drive better. This will allow you to choose your target better. Good. Good. That was a nice engage. Yeah. The only part when you're going for an engage like this, you have to understand where your limit is. It's very important not to overstay your welcome. So here, right now, you already messed up your grapple. You need to be getting out of here. We did it. Good. There's no reason for you to go in right now. 0. You are half HP. If I were you, I would have taken the Mega right behind you. And then I would walk this way so I can have a better understanding of the enemy team's positioning. So I can know where their DPS are. And then from there, you can, let's say, grapple here, swing, Power Drive, shields, get out. You can also just go high ground, molest them from above, make it harder for them to move. But here you have a very narrow and limited sightline. You have only 50% information of what is actually happening on the battlefield. And you want to improve that. High ground, high ground, high ground, always. Another problem is that you are in this space. You practically take up the entirety of this door frame. So this is very easy for the enemy team to shoot you. You will take way too much unnecessary damage. And as Wrecking Ball, you hate those tight spaces because you have gigantic hitbox that fills the entire room. Just get out of here. Go high ground. Don't take this damage. Don't take this damage. Why are we here? Just stay high ground. Good shields, good Power Drive, good getting out. Power Drive again, nice. Roll through. Roll back in. I'm not really sure about this minefield, but this fight is also very scuffed. We're pretty much just stalling time. Switching to Ramattra. I'm interested why. We see Sigma here, we push him, that is good. We could have used our shield a lot earlier here. Well, reaction issue, that's fine. Now, here, we see 4 people here. Juno ultimate, Bastion turret form. We need to put the shield down and we need to move right side immediately. You don't want to play around your shield, just move. Switching to Nemesis form to save yourselves. That is good. Good Vortex. Waiting for shield. Now drop. Drop. Nice. Shoot Kiriko. That is good. Nice. Good. Good engage. You're way too far away. You are way too far away. You don't need to give them this much space. If I were you, I would stay on this high ground, because if anyone wants to push you, you have shield to protect yourself. You have Nemesis form to deal close range damage. You also have Vortex, which works perfectly well on this turn here. And you are in line of sight of your Ana from here. But if you are over here, you give the enemy team free space to walk up the high ground and also come this way, because you as Ramattra cannot deal sufficient damage to prevent them from walking forward on main. Your damage would only count if you're close enough to them, which is here, the most optimal position. I am not sure if this shield here is useful. You don't want to use your shield just to poke in such situation. This Ana is perfectly fine using this cover and not taking damage. Now imagine if you dropped and you use your shield on payload as extra cover for yourself, so you can protect yourself more and contest for more. I would let this Sigma sleep. There's no reason for you to wake him up. You are already in quite a tough situation considering that Emre is ulting. You don't need more damage from Sigma. This shield doesn't do anything yet again. You want to use your shield when you want to close corner, meaning you want to push forward. Like for example, you want to push over here. So you will put the shield up front, like all the way here, and you will use it as extra cover for you to walk this way without taking damage. Or you use your shield when you want to secure an angle, when you want to hold that angle. So in that case, you just put it right in front of you and you defend yourself. Now the problem with your shield, you use it to hold the corner, but there was no reason to. There is no fight happening. This is Ramattra, this is Ashe. Mercy's still in spawn, Ana is still in spawn, the other DPS is still in spawn. So there's no reason for you to waste this ability so early. Ramatra's shield has 13 seconds cooldown. This payload will be here in less than 13 seconds. So you will want to have the shield by that time. Same goes for Nemesis form. There's no reason for you to soak up this damage. You cannot deal damage on the enemy team. No one can really, to be honest. So the only thing that you're doing right now is you're taking unnecessary damage, forcing this Mercy to heal you. Meanwhile, she could have healed Ashe or damage boosted her. But you're taking unnecessary damage here. Now, by the time you will come to contest the objective, you'll be low HP and you will also not have any abilities left to contest and save yourself. And just like that, you're dead. So save those abilities for the fights when you actually need those. Here in this case, you use your abilities before the fight even began. Important thing to know as any tank player, but also especially frontline heavy players such as Ramattra, Reinhardt, Orisa, Sigma, Domina. When you want to push forward, when you want to take up space, turn around to see what is happening with your team. Then you will notice that your Ashe is taking off angle. Both your supports are here, but you need to give them some extra time for them to walk this way. Because if right now you walk forward, then you will line of sight your Ana, and she will not be able to keep up with you guys. And then you will die. Based on the timer, I kind of feel like this is what's going to happen. We are over here, and our Ana is over there. Not necessarily our fault, but also you're rushing. You're way too far in. We're securing space, that is good. You're way too early with this Nemesis form yet again. The fight barely began. Pummeling this Sigma will not result in you killing him. There is no way. There is no way you will actually kill him. He has his defensive abilities. He has double pocket. So, considering that the payload is right here, the end destination is right here, what you need to be doing is saving this Nemesis form to contest on payload, to just block for the entirety of the Nemesis duration. Otherwise, you will burn it down and you will not be able to sustain for longer. This, except you could have done this with just your regular Nemesis form. And then you could have saved your ultimate for later, for the Juno ultimate, for example. But it's good that we are blocking. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, in such situations, when they broke your Nemesis form, your ultimate, now you're here, you have an option to use your shield or Nemesis form. I understand the will to use shield first, right? However, you actually want to use your Nemesis form first. The reason is Nemesis form gives you extra HP. Shield doesn't. So instead, use your Nemesis form immediately and do not use Vortex. Vortex will not give you anything right now. This was your mistake. First of all, you didn't switch to your Nemesis form immediately. You already took this much damage. Then you went for shield. You're 20 HP. And now you're going for the Vortex. Vortex will not give you anything right now. You need HP immediately. Thankfully we got it, but it's luck. It is very much a luck, and also you're in no position to pummel right now. All you need to do this entire fight, is just hold block. All this time. But you pummeled, use your shield, use Vortex, and this cost you the game. So, my advice on Wrecking Ball: use your shields properly. Use your shields when you can shoot when you're being shot. Focus on your target priority. As Ramattra, use your abilities when the fight is actually happening, not before it started. And stay closer to the enemy team. Like, the appropriate usage of your cooldowns is closer to the enemy team. Like, yes, you can poke with your staff, but this is quite weak, just poking with it. You deal quite significant damage staying next to the enemies.